Hello, sweet, beautiful souls. Thank you so much for this moment of connection. Oh, if you could just feel the oceans of bliss and gratitude that we feel in the moment we make connection, you would understand that deep internal calling, why you seek to become your higher dimensional self, so that you too can swim in these waters of bliss and be filled with joy in all your moments. Today, we wish to speak to you of consciousness over mind. You see, many of us were raised with the idea of mind over matter. And we know that if we put our mind to it and we work real hard, we can create things. That's manifestation in 3D. It's worked for many people. But now we're moving into 5D. Some of those beauties of a strong mind or a strong will don't work out so well. They actually propel the blockages that many of us are trying to clear. Because now we're moving into allowing rather than intending and doing. Because that's the nature of 5D. You allow and it comes to you. You hold your truth. And then you see it manifest around you. It's effortless because that's what creation was designed to do. In the highest dimensions, it's instantaneous. But in 3D, it seems like it's impossible sometimes. And as you move into 4D and 5D, there's a gap. And this gap is a very good thing because we have so much in our unconscious that we've not cleared yet, that if we start to manifest, say $1 million, right? And then the guilt kicks in, the unconscious guilt kicks in. Oh, I don't deserve that. I'm not worthy. You'll manifest the million, maybe, but you'll more likely manifest the why you don't deserve it part, like a car crash or being robbed or something, that you would not want. That's why there's a gap as you learn to practice your skills to become the manifester you are through allowance, which really means become your consciousness, then see your consciousness do its thing. Now, when we speak of mind, most people believe that they have a mind, right? And this is actually not the case. Mind is not yours. Mind is an external. It's its own entity. It's its own consciousness. And as beautiful as mind is, it has some low density vibrations included in it, like fear and repetition, right? You've ever had that thought go over in your head, oh, I'm not good enough. I'm stupid. I made a mistake. I shouldn't have done that, man. Why did I do that? I should have said this, right? And it just goes on and on and on and on and on. And if you ask anybody, and they've had that thought. How could we all have the same thought if it's inside us? It would be different. It's not. So it's external. Mind is not yours. But we think mind is ours. You see, we have an experience and mind is fast. That's the thing about mind. It's fast. We have an experience. And before we get to process the experience, mind comes in and starts racing around. And it moves so fast as we grow up, we think, well, that's us because it's always there and it's always talking. And your great philosophers even say so. They think, therefore they are, as opposed to the channel's favorite, Popeye. I am that I am. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. You could just be, or there's supposed to be because you thought you were. Right? Yeah. So your mind moves really fast and it creates this constant dialogue, this constant image of you. And that then gets put in your unconscious because it's happened all along. And then you think this is you. As we ascend, we break free from mind. Mind's always with us. It's a partner. It's a beautiful thing. I mean, we would not have this beautiful communication system. Somebody would not have had the idea to take these beautiful flowers that are behind us in this moment. Mind does great things, but it also has some negative things. It's afraid and it's controlling and it's repetitive and negative. So, how do we become more than our mind? You have to assert this. That's it. You get your diploma when you stand up and announce to the universe, I have graduated. You assert it. I am not my mind. Mind is not me. I am my consciousness. Now, it's one thing to say this, right? You just say it, and that's an intellectual thought, but it's another thing to do it. The Channel Peter was working with some beautiful souls this week on helping to clear their blockages, keeping them stuck in their lives. And he came across a couple of very interesting examples. One person who knew that they were not their mind, yet whenever they hit an obstacle, they would say, oh, but my mind says. It's like, great. So you want to let go of this fear and your mind saying, don't do it because it's scary. And it's good. It's trying to protect you. If you're little and a child, it's going to do that. But what do you do when your mind says, this is scary, don't do it? See, a lot of people think because they've had the thought, that is it. It's truth. It's been thought. Therefore it is. So Peter kept asking, well, so what? And they would just kind of glaze over and get, no, what do you mean, so what? I had this thought, that's what. It's like, well, tell the thought to shut up. What? Just say, thank you, thought. Mind, I so appreciate that you're trying to help me. But in this moment, I assert that I'm consciousness. I'm going to do what I am afraid of. Now, your body gets into the pattern too because it freezes, right? And that's a symptom of not expressing fully when you were younger. And so now you just have the frozen in place, freeze, freeze, freeze. And it's your body trying to protect you. Your body is not as negative as your mind, but it's still not you. You are not your body. You are not your mind. You are your consciousness. You're friends with your body, but your body itself is consciousness. It's a 100 trillion living conscious cells that have agreed to be you. And that's mind-blowing thinking of that, but it is. It's a beautiful friend, but it's not you. You don't die when your body stops. And we don't recommend that people call it the meat sack. That's just, it's disgraceful to what the beauty of our consciousness is and the consciousness of our body cells are. It's a trusted friend. But do you ride your trusted friend like a horse into the ground, and then when it falls over dead, you jump in another horse, the cycle of reincarnation, ride that one into the ground and it falls over? Do you understand that this body is giving you an opportunity to bring consciousness to this plane to learn and grow? So do you revere it and respect it, treat it as the temple it is, that like a physical temple where spirit dwells within, your body is a temple where your consciousness dwells within. The indweller, Antriamen is the word. And that Antriamen is not external, the source. Yes, of course it is the source, but you're a fractal of the source, so it's you too. So when the body freezes, you just be gentle with it. Thank you, body. You're freezing again. You're trying to protect me. And I'm going to do this anyway. And you physically make your arm move or you make the feeling come out. The channel tells people, thump on your chest a little bit, give it a jump start, make a sound. Maybe like see what these people do in the movies when they're crying and imitate that action to jump start it. So it's you making the choices to do what it is you do that defines you. And that's even kind of a 3D explanation because you don't have to do anything. You are a magnificent soul when you pull into the higher dimensions and look at it. That is what we see. So Make friends with your mind. Make friends with your mind. It's there to help you. And it may fight and kick and scream like a small child at first as you start to assert your sovereignty that you are not your mind, that you are taking the actions to clear what mind is saying, even though mind is showing you all the pitfalls and all the problems and all the thoughts of why not. Once you get into it a little, your mind's going to come on board because it realizes, oh, yeah, this person's growing and becoming. I want to be part of this. I don't want to be left behind. And your mind will become an ally. And the channel keeps thinking of this beautiful passage he read in a book called Dune when he was younger. It was the litany against fear. Part of it was in 3D, the part I must not fear, but part of it was in 5D. I will face my fear. I will allow it to pass over me and through me. And when it has gone past, I will follow its path with my inner eye. And where it has been, there shall be nothing, only I shall remain. That's a super conscious statement about fear. When you feel blocked, when your mind's telling you this stuff, when there's us, we've been telling you clear, 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 and the main one is fear of being the magnificent self you are, and it expresses in many ways. So you allow it to pass over you and through you. In our terms, we would say you fully express it. And then when it's done, there's only source, there's only you, there's only consciousness. And that's, of course, blissful. So we're going to ask you, and we're going to keep asking you, are you your mind or are you your soul? And if your soul comes up and you say, I am my soul, then when your mind intervenes or your body tells you're afraid or you have the thought about why you can't, are you going to sit there and say, oh, well, I had that thought, that's it? Or are you going to stand up and say, I am sovereign, I am doing this in spite of what, well, there's no spite, sorry about that. I'm going to do this anyway. I'm going to do this to express the beauty of me. And then I'll have the experience. Now, awakening is coming to the planet in many forms. We see the external awakening, and we see how the powers that were try to shift it and call it the woke. They make it woke instead of awake. And it's just, that's kind of how they are. They're trying to taint the beauty of your essence. It's kind of why there's been oppression and stuff. But anyway, awakening is not just waking up to what's been going on externally and understanding how these powers have been trying to control you and then make new choices. Maybe everything I taught in school was written by people who have edited the history books. Maybe people who are teaching me morality are trying to get me to act a certain way, so I'll be a certain way. And then you claim your sovereignty, and that's beautiful. But there's another kind of awakening. That is where you wake up to the idea that you're a soul, you're a consciousness, you're not your mind. And this is actually a neurobiological shift that takes place. You see, most people, they have an experience and they don't really have it. The experience starts, and then all of a sudden they go, oh, well, when I was 12, I remember that so-and-so did this, and oh, I read a book, and it was just like that, a book, and oh, it reminds me of a song, or that was in a movie I saw, or something like that, right? So instead of having the experience, your mind instantly intervenes with memory and then pulls you out of it into the cycle that it wants you to have. Instead of saying present, presence, present, presence. Now, fortunately, there's energies coming to the planet with the assistance of spirit. Many, many people are doing this in many beautiful ways. Diksha, Shakti, all these wonderful energy transfers are taking place. We have one, and we will put a link for this for you. It's a very simple way to just receive. And what it does is it creates a neurobiological shift where you're going to feel, or you're going to notice a gap. It's very small. It's only a fraction of a second. A gap of between when an experience starts and when your mind kicks in. So what happens is you have the experience, and means rather than just immediately go to the thought of what it reminds you of or what your mind wants you to think of, you notice that your mind is in the background chattering. And then you go, oh, that's beautiful, mind. But then you have to make the choice, and then do it, do it. I'm going to go back to my experience. I'll get back to you later. Being in the experience by choice, being aware of when the mind is pulling you out of that. Those are huge steps towards awakening and ascension. So as you experience this, you may actually notice the neurobiological shift. The channel and his friend always joke about brain surgery because you can feel the tingling in your head, or maybe it's so strong you get a headache. And he always laughs. Oh, that's great. You're getting a headache, brain surgery. Good for you. Yeah, you understand. The shift is happening. And there's many energies to help you, many teachings to help you. But the bottom line is, are you going to claim your sovereignty and own it? And then when the mind and the fear kicks in, you say thank you and you proceed down the course anyway. Now, the reason we say thank you to your mind and your fear is your mind, you want it to be your friend. Right? Or maybe your friend is a little screw loose and has it, whatever you want to call it. So imagine, a person who you would deem as crazy sitting in the corner, and you walk in and they just start telling you crazy stuff. But instead of just getting angry, you understand, oh, this is mine. It's been with me. It helps me. It's also a genius. It can line up plans, help me write books, can do all kinds of organizational things. I love you, mind. And right now I got to go. Yes, I know when I walk in this room, you're going to tell me that my hair is messed up and that shirt is ugly and why am I dating this person and blah, 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 blah. And instead of getting angry, you just say, oh, thank you, mind. You really care. I got to go now. And then you actually go and do what it is your heart is calling forward for you to do, rather than being paralyzed or justify or explain. You're going to get this. We're all going to get this. It's available and it's happening. And we've offered you a tool, that video link that we encourage you to take, try, allow, become. It's yours. Then you get the joy, that ocean of bliss we talked about. That's what happens when the mind quiets. The mind never completely quiets, but it understands that you benefit from being in that ocean abyss. So you have these moments and times where, yes, I'm in it. And then you grow and you have happiness. And then you're doing your service work to the planet, because that's the most important thing. Everybody's out there, I got to help people, I got to help them. And you do. The way you do it is to clear the blockages in yourself, to become more than your mind, become an embodiment of your soul. And then that bliss ocean seeps out from you to everyone, and they automatically start changing. Again, it's not the old mind over matter. I got to go do this. It's important. It's now consciousness over mind. You be it. It emanates from you. You're so beautiful. If you get nothing else from this video, please just put yourself a big hug and just, oh, I am so beautiful. I had some more learning and more teaching today. Look at what I'm doing to become. Give yourself a beautiful hug, kiss. You deserve it, because you are that amazing. Many blessings to you. Hi, I'm Peter D. Thank you so much for viewing this video. It's such a fulfilling feeling to know that my work is being received. If you'd like to help more people on their journey to ascension, you can do that by liking this video, subscribing to this channel. It'll allow the YouTube algorithm to place these messages in front of more people who are ready to expand and grow. I'm so grateful to be with you. I'm so grateful that you're here and that we all get to do this magnificent journey together. Many blessings to you.